This Is My Black, the movie musical soundtrack, is available on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, just about anywhere that that you can get digital music, you can pick that up. But that is, so yeah, if we could put up that first picture, can we put that up? Okay, I'm in the way, so you can see that. All right, but like I said, that's not the announcement. That's not the announcement. So now, a lot of you have been wanting to get your hands on a copy of This Is My Black. So now, if you could, put that next picture up for me, please. So on Vimeo.com on demand, you are now able to pick up your own copy of This Is My Black, a Pine Forge Academy production. Now, here's the catch. Here's the catch. It's available for a limited time only. Now, you'll understand it in a little while. But if you go to Vimeo, Vimeo.com, and look for their on-demand productions, This Is My Black is listed, and you're able to download your own copy from now until September the 12th. So if you want to get a copy from now until September the 12th, it is available for your purchase and download. I'm forgetting something, right? What am I? I'm forgetting something. Right. Okay. So there was this announcement that we were talking about, yeah? Okay. There's a guy, a man by the name of Levar Burton. You may not know him, but he had this saying. He had this saying at the end of his show, Reading Rainbow, that he'd ask you to check it out, and he'd say, but don't take my word for it. So if you all could cue up that last video, and I'm gonna let this video speak for itself.
The Chicago International Children's Film Festival is the first Academy qualifying children's film festival in the world. Founded in 1984, the Chicago International Children's Film Festival is the oldest film festival in the country and the largest in the world, screening on average 250 films from over 50 countries. The Chicago International Children's Film Festival serves as a global hub for filmmakers and producers of films for young people, as an opportunity to connect with and elevate the aesthetic and production standards for youth cinema production. We strive to support the work of talented and dedicated filmmakers by showcasing national and international films of the highest quality and awarding prizes in multiple categories of production formats and genres. The Chicago International Children's Film Festival would like to congratulate Pine Forge Academy and their production of This Is My Black on being selected as a feature film for this year's 2022 Film Festival. The production, This Is My Black, was selected from a myriad of submissions from across the globe. The production of This Is My Black will be premiered in the CICFF documentary feature category. Thank you to Pine Forge Academy for your submission of the production, This Is My Black, and congratulations on your official feature.
So you heard it here first. The Chicago Children's International Film Festival is one of the largest film festivals in the world. It is one of the oldest film festivals in the world, and just to be clear, I don't know if you heard it at the beginning, but it is what is called an Academy qualifying festival. So what that means is there are people who are on the board for the Academy Awards and the Golden Globe that come to look at this film festival to see if there are films that they would choose for developing films to be awarded Academy Awards and Golden Globe Awards. So congratulations to you, Pine Forge Academy. So of course we'll have more information, but Pine Forge Academy and our production of This Is My Black was selected as a feature film for the Chicago International Children's Film Festival. Not only will it be featured, but it is no longer a proverbial saying that will be up on the big screen. It's now official. Thank you, Pine Forge Academy. Okay, so real quick, my students who were helping as far as the popcorn goes, if you would go back around with your bags, collect, just to make sure that we leave this place better than when we found it. So if you were helping with that, just go back around. If you have like an empty popcorn bag that is done, we don't want to leave that here. We trust that you'll find a trash can for it, but we want to make sure. All right. And with that, that concludes our premiere of This Is My Black.
Thank you so much, Jarrett. Professor Rosenberg, let's give This Is My Black a round of applause. We can do better than that. Let's give This Is My Black a round of applause. The students, Professor Rosenberg, and all that he has done for the students. So now, we already understand that if we give a long break, we will lose everybody. So we are going to move very quickly into our awards program. We're going to move very quickly into our awards program. So I'm going to ask our praise team to get ready. I'm going to ask our MCs to get ready. And I'm asking the audiovisual team if this is going to remain. Can someone from Allegheny East audiovisual team, will this remain? Oh, okay, okay, good, thank you. So we're gonna put a tablecloth on here, thank you. Up there, try to put them up there. I think it's better, right? Yeah. How many do you need? How many mics do you need? Seven. We need mics. We want it up there. I don't know if I... Stephanie, they're gonna bring it up here. Huh? Up as far up as possible. Well, we need a podium there too. So we need, yeah, because we need a podium as well. She didn't do her deaconess job.
Test. Test, test.
Hello. Okay.
Good evening, Pine Forge Academy. Good evening, Pine Forge Academy.
Testing.
We're going to begin with a little praise and worship. He said, if I be lifted, I will draw all men to me. You're my perfect friend. In you I live, have my being. I want to draw closer, need to draw closer. If I be lifted, I will draw all men to me. You're my perfect friend. In you I live. Do you all know that song? Have my being. I want to draw closer to thee. You're all I need. Every breath you breathe through me. You're all I need. Let your rivers flow through me. You're all I need. Come on, I need your help, everyone. Everyone singing, you're all I need. You're all I need. Every breath you breathe through me. You're all I need. Let your rivers flow. You're all I need. You're all I need. Every breath. You're all I need. Let your rivers flow. You're all I need. 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 Come on. You're all. Every breath, every breath. You're all I need. Let your rivers flow through me. You're all. Every breath you breathe. You're all I need. Let your rivers flow. You're all I need. 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 Said if I be lifted, you said if I be lifted, I will draw all men to me. You're my closest friend. In you I live. Have my being, I want to draw closer. Said if I be lifted up, I will draw. You're my closest friend. In you I live, have my being, I want to draw. To thee, you're all I need. Every breath, you're all I need. Let your rivers flow. You're all. Every breath, you're all. Let your rivers flow. You're all I need. All right. Let's try something everyone knows all together. Oh, come, let us adore him. 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 Because he's Christ the Lord. Christ the Lord. Just the congregation. Oh, come. Come on, give me a little bit more. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh. Yeah. Adore him. Oh, come. Adore him. Because he's Christ the Lord. Oh, Christ the Lord. Everyone. For he alone is worthy. For he alone. For he alone. For he alone is worthy. For he alone is worthy. For he alone is worthy. He alone is worthy. He's worthy. He's Christ the Lord. Christ. Let's take it up. The Lord. Oh, I cannot live. I cannot live. I cannot live. I cannot live without Christ the Lord. Christ the Lord. He's Christ the Lord. Christ. One more time. The Lord. Christ the Lord. The Lord. All right.
All right, let's settle down. I want to thank the praise team. Can we give the praise team a round of applause? Thank you so much. I dare not say, I think that was Germantown. Was that Germantown praise team, or do I have it right, Pastor Prezette? All right, that's good. So we want to ask everybody to come in and take their seats. Move closer, come in, take your seats. I think these individuals that we are honoring tonight deserve our attention. They deserve our, respect. So I ask that you come in if you're in the periphery and you are talking. I ask that you calm down. The reason why I think the awards ceremony are one of the many things that separates us from many other institutions is the way we honor the excellence from our academy. We take the time and we look at individuals who have done amazing things in their careers or in ministry or in their community or in healthcare or whatever their field of expertise is, and we take the time to honor them. And also, as of the last 4 or 5 years, this school is a fine arts institution, and we turn out some of the best musicians anywhere, especially on a high school level. I'd argue college too, but certainly on a high school level. And the Music Hall of Fame has done a great job. In fact, I was at lunch with an amazing and accomplished musician from another institution, Adventist, and they mentioned how much they appreciate how Pine Forge Academy recognizes our musicians. They do an amazing job, and so we are grateful. So we don't want to just honor the business, the medical, the legal, the pastors. We also want to honor the musicians as well. And so this opportunity this evening is for us to honor a great group of individuals. But first I want to reiterate what we talked about are the honorees this morning. I just want to call out their names again because I think there's a few people that were here that weren't here this morning that are here this afternoon. And so I want us to put our hands together for Dr. Johnson, William Johnson, a pediatric anesthesiologist with a very accomplished career. He was awarded the Lifetime Achievement Honoree. And so we're so grateful for not only your commitment to your field in excellence, living out our tagline, excellence is no accident, but certainly your commitment and contribution over the decades to Pine Forge Academy. We also gave the Lifetime Achievement Award to Elton Lester, who is an attorney working for his entire career at HUD, both of them the class of 1962. So let's give the class of 62, thank them for their inspiration for us to continue excellence. And then we gave the President's Award to none other than the CFO, the business manager, the leader of Allegheny East Conference, Lawrence Martin, for his many years of commitment to Pine Forge Academy. We want to put our hands together for Lawrence Martin as well. Now, one of the things I realized when I became president is I am no MC. So I always look for the best and the brightest. And we have two amazing ladies with great personalities from the class of 1992. So I'm going to call up Jennifer Fordham, or Gill Fordham, and Stacy Campbell Marshall, my campus mother, to take the stage and take us into this evening's award ceremony. Let's put our hands together for them.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello and welcome, welcome.
I am Jennifer Gill Fordham from the class of 1992.
And I am Stacy Campbell Marshall from the class of 1992.
And we are so excited to return to the Manatawny.
Yes.
I mean, we were going to do anything to get here.
Oh, yeah.
Our planes were delayed. I came from Nashville. My plane was delayed. We got here at about 2:30, but we were not giving up. We were coming. We were returning to the river Manatawny.
That's right, Jennifer. I came in from the Bahamas. I live in Nassau, Bahamas. My flight was canceled, and I thought, okay, I'm just not going to go. And then I was like, no, Stacy. And they found me another flight. I had a 6+ hour layover, and then got in last night, and we finally got to the hotel about 2:30 this morning. I am glad to be here on the river Manatawny.
Are you happy to be here on the river Manatawny? There is nothing like being here on the river Manatawny.
And the fact for the last few years we've not been able to get together in this way, and I know that not many people have come out for this alumni weekend, but I'm glad for each and every one of you that took the time and saw it important to come here and be here in person. But we also want to welcome everyone who is online, who's
Amen.
Watching. We're glad that you're here. We're glad that you're taking the time out for this award ceremony this afternoon, because we have some alumni that are doing some really, really great things.
We really do, and we are more than proud this year to recognize the honorees, the 2022 honorees. These honorees are dear to our hearts, and we are so excited about honoring them today. Now, Stacy.
Yes.
Online on the Pine Forge Academy alumni page on Facebook, there was something that was going around that said, you know you went to Pine Forge if.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can relate to some of these that were online.
Mm-hmm.
You know you went to Pine Forge if you've ever had apple cider from the apples you picked.
Okay? Who did that?
Who can relate to that?
Can you relate to that? All right. What about, you know, those sack lunches that we would get on Friday night, right? Everybody know about, do you all still get sack lunches? Wow, okay. So you know you went to Pine Forge if you know how to warm up your cookies. How did you warm up your cookies? Remember those Pepperidge Farm cookies? How did you warm those up? With
on the iron. Turn
yes.
that iron upside down. We're telling secrets now. Maybe I shouldn't to the people that are still here.
Yeah.
It was not safe. You know you went to Pine Forge if you are still looking for the Dean Greenberger recipe.
That's right.
Who is still looking for it? I am still looking for it.
Some people say they have it, but they haven't produced the
They
goods,
have
so
not
I don't believe that. So look, when I was at Pine Forge, I remember that we would put our milk where? In the winter, on the windowsill to keep it fresh.
That's right. You know you went to Pine Forge if you used to do that. Here's another one. You know you went to Pine Forge if you expect every group that you're in to be able to break out in 3-part harmony.
Yeah.
How many of you believe that?
All right.
I am like that. We know that you all went to Pine Forge and you can relate to the experience.
And I think that Pine Forge gives us an extra tuned ear. Yeah. We tend to know really, really good music if you've been to Pine Forge.
That's right. Well, like we said before, we are so excited to honor the honorees today. They are well deserving, and we don't want to hold this program up. We want to take the time to properly honor our honorees this evening.
So our first honoree And I want you all to take the time to read in your program, read her full bio, because we can't read it all here this evening. But this lady, she is really, really handling her business, and she is representing the Pine Forge name very well. Our first award this evening is going out to Dr. Talitha Hampton, PhD, class of 2000. She's receiving our Community Service Award this evening. And just to read a little bit about her, Dr. Talitha Hampton is a proud graduate of the Pine Forge Academy class of 2000. She earned a bachelor's degree in chemistry from Oakwood University, a master's degree in chemical engineering from the University of Alabama in Huntsville, and a doctorate in industrial engineering and operations management from the George Washington University. Dr. Hampton is the Senior Director for Supply Chain Production, Planning and Systems at Novavax Incorporated, where she oversees strategic supply chain demand and production planning for the company's first commercial product and the world's first protein-based vaccine for COVID-19. Come on. All right, come on. She is responsible for ensuring supply to patients with accountability for multiple functions within global supply chain and strategic sourcing, including strategy, planning, and new product introduction, artwork, and labeling. We are so proud of this sister. We are so proud of Dr. Talitha Hampton. So I encourage you, those of you online, those of you here, get your program, read her full bio. I do want to say that she does have a life outside of all of this. She enjoys spending time with her family, including her husband, Dr. David Mayo, singing, dancing, scuba diving, learning new languages, mentoring, weightlifting, and sightseeing. Let's call to the stage Dr. Talitha Hampton, PhD, our honoree for community service. Let's give her a hand, ladies and gentlemen.
So I just want to thank everyone for nominating me for this award. It's truly humbling. They asked us to say a few words, and those who know me well know that I'm rarely able to say a few words, but I'm going to try. Those of you who also know me well know that I'm big on energy, how I manage my energy, the energy I give off, the energy that comes into my space. As a chemistry major, chemical engineering major, we learned a lot about energy and the fundamental laws. So first semester chemistry with Melissa Brooms, we were taught the fundamental law of chemistry with thermodynamics. Energy is neither created or, thank you my family. And so that's a fundamental rule, it's absolute. It can't be changed. And so you may think, oh, well, we have sparks, there are nuclear bombs, batteries create energy all the time. But what's happening is that energy is just changing forms. It's always created. The energy that's in the universe today, the total energy that's in the universe right now, is the same amount of energy that's always existed. And you say, how is that possible? Because you've heard that the universe is always expanding. Thank you, somebody back here said that. Yes, it's always expanding. So it's a paradox, right? So there's a concept in spatial aerodynamics, and my husband's an aerospace engineer, and he helped me understand this. There's a concept in the universe called dark energy. And sometimes when you hear the word dark, other cultures have made us to think that dark means bad. If I was in Doc Rock's second semester AP chemistry class, I would take some leeway. And with Mr. Monk in our chemistry class, he would also kind of allow us to kind of think outside the box while talking about sewing, cooking, all kinds of things. Those of you who knew Mr. Monk knew that it was never just one subject with him. And so instead of calling it dark energy, I'm going to call it my black energy. And being at Pine Forge Academy created the conditions for my black energy to cause my universe to expand. And I want to thank all of the people who helped contribute to that, who poured in, who turned my energy, my resting state energy, into another form. You know, I can't, if Mr. Cargill was here, we would talk about summing infinite series, right? So you can't sum an infinite series, so you integrate over it. So I'm just going to take a few pieces and integrate over it and talk about some of the people who helped contribute to my energy. I think about Lakeisha Bonner, who's here. Actually, I didn't know she was going to be here, but she stayed and she let me stay in her room till 3 o'clock in the morning to help me study for a geometry test. I had only met her once, and she helped me pass it. And then geometry became my best subject. I think about Autumn Washington, who is my campus mother, who whenever I needed anything, money for a Welch's grape out the vending machine, or if I needed anything in life, to this day, Autumn Washington was there and continues to be there for me. I think about Mr. Campbell, my geometry teacher, who let me think, and I was grateful for this, that Carmen Robinson and I designed a theorem that we called the Ham-Rob theorem. Upon careful study, that theorem already exists, but the energy that he poured in to help let us think and drive and come to some conclusions on our own gave me the confidence that I needed to be in a room and be able to say with confidence, I own that. Yeah, somebody else kind of maybe started that, but I'm seeing this through. And I can confidently say that because of what was poured into me here.
Yes.
The faculty, the students, the friends here created the conditions to give me energy, but I also learned lessons from Dr., and we call her Doctor, but Tony Simons, who let me know that sometimes your energy can just be. You want to protect it. You don't want anybody to add to or take away. Sometimes you have to just go with it. And I'm grateful to Ms. Simons for that. I also learned that you don't want to waste energy being anybody different than your black energy. It takes away energy to code switch, to try to talk different, to be afraid to body roll when you make something happen, right? To go into a room and to wear your hair exactly how you choose to wear it, to wear the clothes that help you resonate with the souls and the spirit of your ancestors. So you want to protect the energy that goes out, and Pine Forge Academy created the conditions to manage my energy, and for that I will always be grateful. And so I challenge everyone here, as you start looking at your energy, what you give out, we all have the opportunity to help somebody. If I could just help somebody as I pass along, then our living will not be in vain. It's almost impossible for your living to be in vain because all the energy you have now is all energy that ever existed. We just need to convert it into other forms. So I challenge you to please support the school, convert some of the stuff you see here into different forms. Challenge yourself and challenge your family and friends to support this academy and to continue to pour into the lives of others and increase the energy and have it turn into a different form. Thank you very much.
And for our special music this evening, we would like to invite Dr. Hampton's sister, Dr. Makita Hampton.
Talitha, I know I'm not supposed to say something, but we are so proud of you. I don't think people will really get the scope of what this Community Service Award entails and how it truly, truly reflects your life. What you pour into your family, what you pour into your friends is the complete outpouring of what the community gets. And it's because you do that so intimately that it's almost effortless that it spills over into the community. So your words that you just said, I know that you internalized those, so here they are in song. If I can help somebody as I pass along, if I can cheer somebody with a word or song, if I can show somebody he is traveling wrong, then my living shall not be in vain. If I can do my duty as a Christian ought, if I can bring back beauty to a world of wrong, if I can shed love's message that the Master taught, then my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. If I can help somebody as I pass along, then my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. If I can help somebody as I pass along, then my living, then our living, then your living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain.
We're going to introduce or read about our next honoree, Dr. Bianca Hall, for the Meritorious Award. We're going to invite our president, Sakoni Scott, up to say a few words about Bianca, who was unable to be here this evening, but she did send a video.
So, the Meritorious Award means excelling in your field, in your career. And Dr. Bianca Hall, in her bio, says she was born in DC with a father, Guyanese mother, and she's a proud first-generation American. Her dedication to providing quality health care with a focus on patient-centered and culturally competent care from her communal upbringing, both in Washington, D.C. and the Caribbean. Dr. Hall transitioned to Pine Forge Academy for her last 2 years of high school, where she was actively involved in many student organizations. She's really active, and then I'm going to skip down. Throughout her career, Dr. Hall was passionately promoted service, education, and advocacy with an emphasis on diversity and social justice. During her time in medical school, she created several programs to highlight the needs of underserved communities and arrange community service events to support healthy living. She also participated in curriculum review and developed a cultural competency course that provided medical students with an area distinction upon graduation. In residency, she presented lectures to educate healthcare workers of color. She has worked with several national organizations to lobby on Capitol Hill for issues related to medical education, Medicaid expansion, women's and reproductive rights. In addition, Dr. Hall is an avid researcher. She recently published an article regarding healthcare quality for formerly incarcerated individuals. She also recently founded the I Am the New Jane initiative to help support education in sexual and reproductive health for medical trainees. So she was unable or is unable to be here, and I'm going to ask that our AV team present her video of acceptance. She's here.
Hi, my name is Bianca Hall, and I want to say thank you so much to the Pine Forge Academy Alumni Association for this honor and recognition. It feels like I was just a student there the other day, so it's a little weird to me that it's been 15 years now, but here we are. I can definitely attribute so much of who I am to the time that I spent at Pine Forge. Pine Forge prepared me academically for the rigors of medical school. It prepared me socially to be an advocate for my community and to provide service to my community. Definitely gave me the leadership skills I needed to show up in the workspace from my time spent on USM, and definitely gave me the communication skills I needed after living in a dorm full of articulate and intelligent young Black women. You definitely walk away with some conflict resolution skills. What I'll say ultimately is Pine Forge let me know that it was okay to show up in the world as a young Black woman and succeed and excel. Excellence definitely is no accident there. So I want all the young people that are at Pine Forge to know, cherish this time. And you have a network of people out here who are looking forward to welcoming you with open arms. Again, thank you so much for this honor. I wish I could be there in person with you, but I already had prior plans. But Pine Forge will always be home and will always be family. Pine Forge till we die. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Dr. Hall. Let's put our hands together for her. So now we have a treat this evening. We've heard from the choir this morning, This Is My Black, this afternoon, and now we hear from Creative Arts. So we are going to invite the Creative Arts team to present in their way. Is there a director? Where's the director? Huh? They told me.
color who speaks many languages.
I am different. I'm a Renaissance man.
I am different. I'm a master of aeronautics. In other words, I fly planes.
I am different. I'm an athlete who plays tennis.
I am different. I am proud to be Haitian. I am different. I'm a makeup artist.
I am different. I'm a sound producer. I make beats.
I am different. I write poetry.
I am different. I'm a painter. I am different. I'm creative.
I am different. I have style.
I am different. I draw. I am different. My pimples are my beauty marks.
I am different. I run track.
I am different. I'm a master musician.
I am different. I stand above chaos.
I am different. I think before I act.
What's going on? What is that? What is that?
I am different. I am who I am.
Oh, that's what's up! Welcome to CA.
Where it's good to be different. What makes you different?
We want to know.
Amen. I am different. Did you enjoy that? I am so glad to see Creative Arts Ministry still going. I was a member of Phase 1, and I'm so grateful that Creative Arts is still alive at Pine Forge Academy. We are ready to honor another one of our Pine Forge honorees. Today, we are honoring our co-alumnus of the year, Mr. DeAndre Leary. DeAndre Leary, PFA class of 1993, came to Pine Forge from Kansas City, Missouri. Go Chiefs. After graduating PFA, DeAndre graduated from the University of Missouri, KC, with a degree in business. DeAndre went on to receive his MBA from the University of Denver with a focus on supply chain. DeAndre and his wife Stephanie reside in the Atlanta, Georgia area. They have one son, Walker, age 9, and daughter, Ava, age 7. DeAndre is the group vice president for international intermodal at Norfolk Southern Corporation, one of the nation's premier transportation companies. He joined the company in 2020. In this role, DeAndre leads the railroad strategy for transporting containerized freight throughout its international intermodal network, the second largest in North America. Norfolk Southern connects customers to markets and communities to economic opportunity with safe, reliable, and sustainable shipping solutions. The company's network spans 22 states and every major container port in the eastern United States. In 2022, DeAndre Leary was named by Savoy magazine as one of the most influential Black executives in America. Today, we honor with distinction the co-alumnus of the year, Mr. DeAndre Leary.
Well, thank you, Jennifer. You make railroading sound pretty cool. I wish I could do that. I want to do three things. I want to first thank the Alumni Association. I want to thank Pine Forge. The students who aren't here, I wish they were, because I tell them it's an honor to be here with them. They were awesome today. That was just amazing. They've really upped the game. But I want to thank the faculty as well for pouring yourself into me. I would have told you a long time ago when I was a student here that one of my goals was to make you feel proud of me, Dean Thomas. One day I wanted you to be proud of me. Mr. Fielder, I wanted you to be proud of me. It's changed. To use the analogy you used earlier about energy, it's flipped into a different type of energy. I want it to dissipate through me, what you did for me, and I do the same thing for others. So thank you for the example you gave me, and thank you for pouring yourself into me, all the faculty that worked with me. I'd like to first, let's play like we did that, thank my wife, Stephanie, who's not here, but I know you're watching, babe. I'd like to thank my mother-in-law and father-in-law who are with her. I'd like to thank you for raising a daughter that is not just my advocate, not just my mentor, not just my confidant, but she's my braveheart. She's the person that gives me courage when sometimes those walls look too thick, and I guarantee you I wouldn't have gone through the ones I've gone through had it not been for Stephanie. I'd like to, thank you. I'd like to acknowledge my son and daughter, Walker and Ava. You may not understand what's going on here, but essentially it's the school's honoring me because when my parents told me to go to bed at night, I did it. So they're going to do the same for you when you graduate, once you do that. I'd like to thank the Pine Forge fan club, and I think of that because it's real. You know, I wish, Jenny, you read my bio, but I wish we could read my failures. I wish we could read the blocks that I ran into, the times, the lost jobs, the moves, the disappointments, the things that you thought would go great that didn't go as planned. And I wish you could read those and see how each time God just took care of me. Oh, yes. I wish you could read those and see how my wife, my family, my father, my mother stuck by me and just encouraged me and always had that word of support. I'm here because of that. The Pine Forge Fan Club are my group of friends that were here. There's a pastor, I won't name him because his son's here, but he sends me a text probably every 3 or 4 months and just says, hey, DeAndre, I was thinking about you. You suck more today than you did a year ago. And just to keep you level. So I appreciate that fan club that does that for me. I appreciate the fan club that's there, Mrs. Arthur's, the Cheathams, all my friends, people who took me into their homes and let me eat all of their food on open weekends. My cousin, Tanya and A.T., thank you for being my parents in Maryland when I was all the way up here. I just thank you. I thank the fan club of all my friends' parents, all my friends' siblings. I thank the fan club of my sister and all of her friends that always just showed a great example. Speaking of that, I'd like to thank the people who came before me. There was a Kansas City group that came up here, and they're not here, but guys like Scoog Fordham, Pucky Fordham, Kevin Harrell, folks that as a young black teenager, you needed somebody to model the way for you, somebody that set an example that you wanted to follow, and each and every time, not only did they make me feel special, but they showed me what it looks like. Wow. And I appreciate it, and I hope I'm doing that for somebody, for you guys as well. I'd like to end with a story, so really two. So I think maybe one of the last times I was here was graduation. My dad and I, Daddy, we were standing back there, and it was after graduation, everybody's glad-handing everybody, and my dad looked at me, he's kind of looking with a serious face, and so I was like, hey, what's up, man, what are you doing? He's like, what are you about to do? I was like, no, that's a good question, probably go get something to eat. No, he said, what are you about to do? And I said, I don't know. He's like, you better figure it out because your mom's getting rid of your bed in August. The second story I want to tell you is when I was if you know me, you know that I'm a huge Kansas City Chiefs fan. Amen. I'm a huge Kansas City Royals fan, so I'm going to tell you a story from my childhood and the way I remember it. So I was probably 8, and the thing you ought to know about me when I was 8 is I look like this, but I had a mustache. And so my favorite player, I love George Brett. I just love George Brett. So my dad and I took his time every time to take me to a baseball game. And he said, hey, I'm gonna go get some gas after the game. We're gonna get some gas. So we get to the gas station, who's there? George Brett. So I'm like, Daddy, can I go say hi to George Brett? He was like, absolutely not. You're gonna embarrass yourself, you're gonna embarrass me, don't do it. So he gets out to go pay for gas. I immediately go say hi to George Brett. So I jump out of the car, I run up to George Brett. Mind you, I'm an 8th grader that looks like this with a mustache, and I freeze. I just freeze. So imagine what George Brett's thinking. In a not so awesome area of town, and this guy runs up to him and says that. And my dad came out, he's like, oh, Mr. Brett, I'm so sorry. It's my son. He's like, really, that's your son? And he said, he's a big fan of yours. And I just blurted out while he's talking, I love you. And so my dad puts me back in the car. We get out, I start crying, and he was like, you know, it's okay. But if I think back on that, as that story's kind of transpired in my mind, if there was one thing George Brett would know about me that I wanted him to know about me, is that I loved him. And I got that across. But if there's one thing that you ought to know about me through all the things I just said, it's that I'm here because my father and my mother poured themselves into me. There's nothing that I've accomplished in life that I feel like would have happened had I not been lucky enough to hit the parent lottery with my mom and my dad. And so my dad's joining me here today. Dad, could you raise your hand? Oftentimes we let things pass and not have the ability to tell somebody we love them or we thank them, but I want you to know that as a father, as a husband, mom, as a son, I appreciate every time you just telling me, you know what, I don't know what you're gonna do, DeAndre, but I know you're gonna do it well. I appreciate you telling me, Daddy, hey, I don't know how to do that, but I think you can do it and I think you'll be great. The last story I'll tell you is the first car my dad bought me was this junker. I remember how ungrateful I was when you got it. I was like, Dad, this sucks, why'd you get me this? And I feel horrible about it to this day, but he said, you know what? That's what people get you when you depend on people to get stuff for you. And I took that lesson throughout the rest of my life, and I never wanted to be a burden. I never wanted to do anything other than make you proud of me. And so I want to dedicate this to my parents, if that's okay, because they sacrificed. This was their vision. I'm just a conduit. So I love you. Thank you.
That was beautiful. These speeches have been amazing, haven't they? That was beautiful. Thank you, DeAndre. At this time, we are so honored to have Dr. Lakeisha Williams, class of 1998, to bring us special music.
Praise God, it's a blessing to be here. This year is my husband's 25th, and next year is my 25th. So we'll be here 2 years for sure in a row, and then hopefully we can make that trek up from Huntsville more often. I love coming back here. It reminds me of so many positive things that happened in my life. But most recently, I have dealt with something very tragic, and that was the loss of my dad a year ago. And when he died, if someone told me that I would still be able to stand a year after, I would not have believed them. A couple of weeks ago, actually a few weeks ago, it was just a year that my dad passed. A few weeks ago, God placed a song in my heart. And I started singing the song. I've never done it before, but my husband and I, we were riding to church, and I just started singing the song. And I said, well, let me see if I can go all the way through. I didn't know that I knew. I mean, seriously, it just came out of nowhere. And I said, well, let me sing the song. I started singing the song. And literally every day for several weeks, I would sing this song, just burst out into song in my house. What I did not realize is that was going to be the song that would keep me through the anniversary of my father's death. But that Monday after, I found myself, I wasn't able to sing the song. I couldn't get it out. And so I laid in my bed with tears streaming down my face, and I went onto my Apple Music. I found the song, and I just let it play. It still kept me, even though I couldn't sing it. And so today, I want to share that song with you all. I will sing a cappella, just so you can just have, you can join me in my safe space, in my living room when I'm belting out and my sons are probably looking at me like I'm crazy. And I pray that you guys are blessed. Let us worship Christ, our Savior. Let us worship Christ, our Savior. Let us worship Him. Let us worship Him. Let us worship Christ, our Lord. Let us worship Christ. He is our Savior. Let us worship Christ, our Savior. Let us worship Him. Let us worship Him. Let us worship Christ, our Lord. All the earth should praise Him. Let us bow down before Him. Let us enter into His gates with thanksgiving. Come before His courts with praise. Let us honor and adore Him. Let us exalt Him for His goodness, for His loving kindness, and for His tender mercies. I will worship Christ the Lord. I will worship Christ. I will worship Christ the Lord. I worship you. I adore your name. Lord, you're worthy. I'll worship Christ the Lord.
Amen. I will worship Christ the Lord. Thank you so much, Lakeisha. At this time, I am proud to introduce another co-alumnus of the year who was my United Student Movement president, Mr. Michael Buckham White, class of 1989. Michael Buckham White is a global managing director for Deloitte Information Technology Services. He leads global technology for the Deloitte consulting and advisory businesses. He also leads technology for global brand, which includes Deloitte.com and other digital enablement platforms, setting global strategy and priorities. Previously, he was responsible for U.S. clients and market growth technology, as well as global IT innovation focused on identifying and globalizing emerging technologies. He is passionate about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and runs cross-business next-generation pipeline development efforts for Black professionals. Michael volunteers his time as the chair of the Board for Information Technology Senior Management Forum, focused on enabling the creation of barrier-free opportunities for Black technology influencers, innovators, and leaders. He has a relentless focus on mentoring and developing people to maximize their potential. In 2022, Michael was named by Savoy magazine as one of the most influential Black executives in corporate America. He is married to Tia Buckham White. I think she's here. Tia's waving. And has 2 children, McLeod and Catherine. Today we honor the co-alumnus of the year from the class of 1989, Michael Buckham White.
Thank you all. DeAndre's dad already told me, you know, if you're going to make a speech, make sure you're first so you don't have to follow all these great speeches that have gone before you. So I'm not going to be as good as the rest of the speakers, but I'm going to try to deliver a message that's very brief about Black love and Black excellence. I want to thank the Alumni Association. I want to thank you, Cliff, and what you're doing here for the students here. Cliff and I went to Oakwood College together for a little while, and the excellence that he is conveying to these students and what we saw earlier this evening, this is my Black, it's unbelievable. That's the kind of excellence that Pine Forge Academy produces. When I talk about Black love, I have to start with my wife of 27 years. For those of you who've been married a long time, you know it ain't easy. But you got to work at it. You got to keep putting it in. And I appreciate you, Tia, for hanging with me. Black love matters. When I think of Black love and I think of family, I certainly think of Tia. But I also think of my cousin, Wade L. Sanderson, class of 1988. We have been ride or die for a long time. He is more than a cousin. He is more than a friend. He is my brother I never had. Shout out to the White Plains crew, Ash Stevens. We came to Pine Forge together. Ash came, class of 87. Wade L. came 88, and I came class of 89. And we took care of each other. That's Black love. The other person I want to recognize in my family, other than the family, my fictive folk over there and the fictive folk that are watching, is my father, who's been deceased 11 years. Randolph Buckham White busted his tail working 2 or 3 jobs to make sure I got the Pine Forge Academy education. So I say to each of you who are here and those of you who are watching, be grateful. Be grateful to your parents or your loved ones who sacrificed with Black love for you to be here and get this excellent education. I also want to thank the faculty and staff of Pine Forge Academy. They had us. They could have done whatever they wanted with us up here in these country woods. But we were away from home, and they took care of us. Black love. I'd be remiss if I didn't call out a few people. I could talk about Dean Green's paragon of perfection attitude towards us, and knowing that you could be anything you wanted to be. I could talk about many others, Vernon Hill, Doc Rock, but I have to especially call out a few people. I have to call out the Felders, sitting back there. 30 plus years, came my sophomore year. You know what they showed me? That people from Detroit could be cool. But they showed me black love because I didn't see it in my home with my mother and my father because they were divorced. But I saw it in them.
That's right, that's right.
I saw black love in the Darbys. We all had a crush on Miss Darby, you know that saying. All that time in the library, it wasn't reading books. They're also our class sponsors for class of '89. They showed us black love and they gave us black love. I'd be remiss if I didn't share with you the absolute black love that I've experienced from my brother, Dr. Leon Thomas.
Amen.
He was not only my dean, but he was in my wedding. And I was in his. Black love, taking care of the people here. When I think of faculty and staff, I want to recognize one more individual who's not here. And that's your uncle, Conrad Gill. He was headmaster of this great institution for 4 years, all 4 of my years. In my junior year, I was an RA in Handy Hall. I was the only junior on the student council, but I was a little mischievous too. I won't get into all of that, because some things I can't even talk about to this day.
Amen.
Memories.
Amen, amen, ain't that right? But I was kicked out of Pine Forge and was sent home on Big Red. Some of y'all remember Big Red and the Greyhound. For a week, stripped of all my duties, RA duties, my student government position. Black love. Conrad Gill and the Dean's Council allowed me to come back. But not only did they allow me to come back, they allowed me to be my full self, my complete self, so that I can strive towards the excellence that I expect, or I expected in my life. They allowed me to be head RA of Handy Hall, in spite of my transgressions. They allowed me to run for student government, and I was the head of student government unopposed. Because of the decisions in that Dean's Council and Conrad Gill, I was Student of the Year. Black love. Black love comes with forgiveness. Something I can work on in my own personal life. But that's the example that I was given, and those opportunities that allowed me to achieve what you heard in that bio. Next, I want to thank probably the greatest class of Pine Forge Academy, the class of 1989. Attorneys, money makers, Grammy Award winners. I'm just saying, I'm just. musicians extraordinaire working for Boys to Men, and I mean, I'm just saying, class of 89, thank you very much. And the reason why I want to recognize them is because we take care of each other. We were there for each other, and we still bond to this day as much as we can. We have lost a great deal in the class of 1989. We are 51 years old, but we have lost over 10% of our class to death. I tell you this because the black love that we have for each other is what you need to do. For those of you who graduated from Pine Forge, do not delay. Reach out to your people and let them know that you care about them and that you have black love for them. Because you never know what people are going through and what trials and tribulations they may be experiencing. The last thing I'm going to say, without all that black love, there is the chance that there is no black excellence. I am humbled by this award. Thank you. I am humbled by the recognition that DeAndre and I had with Savoy. I am critically sure that I would have never gotten that award if it wasn't for the much deserved and energy that I put in to helping black people. We need help, black people. If you have power, if you have influence, step up. Our black folks are only achieving a small, minute component of what we can be. We are the most excellent people in the world who survived the Middle Passage, survived oppression and slavery, and still we rise. That's black excellence. Imagine if we stopped being unapologetic for being black. And this message is to the Seventh-day Adventist Church. You give us so much power in the tutelage that you give to us and the shaping of us. But then sometimes you put parameters around us. Look at these babies. This is my black excellence. We have to step up and pour into our people like never before. Like never before, unapologetically, so that we can become all that God meant for us to be.
All right.
So be forgiving, be loving, and give more than you're giving today. Because we have not the room to allow for our black kids and our black people not to achieve what they have the potential to achieve. I love you. I love PFA. It saved my life. Amen. And because of that foundation and all those people I named and my village who is here today, I am blessed to be recognized with this award. Thank you very much. Oh, okay. Pastor Richardson in the house. Good to see you still here, man. Thank you very much.
We are happy to have Jeremy Winston, class of 97, and Joy Weatherford, class of 1997, to bring us special music.
I pray you'll be our guide and watch us where we go and help us to be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be our prayer when we lose our way. To a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe.
I pray we'll find your light, and hold it in our hearts. When stars go out each night, remind us where you are. Let this be our prayer. When shadows fill our days, lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, give us faith so we'll be safe. A world where pain and sorrow will be ended, and every heart that's broken will be mended, and we'll remember we are all God's children, reaching out to touch you, reaching to the sky. Another soul to love. Another soul to love. Let this be our prayer. Let this be our prayer. Just like every child. Just like every child needs to find a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be safe. Needs to find a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be safe.
Thank you, Jeremy and Joy. Thank you very much. Last but not least this evening, it is my privilege to introduce the Alumna of the Year, Mrs. Tiffany Smith Brissett, class of 1995. Tiffany Smith Brissett is a native of Richmond, Virginia. She is a product of Christian education from daycare years on through elementary school, and then when she attended Pine Forge Academy. Her attendance at Pine Forge Academy was a faith walk. Her parents had to work a lot of odd jobs to get the registration money together. They packed her up and they brought her up here to Pine Forge Academy, and they believed that they were going to be able to find the money. You're gonna make me cry. To find the money so she could stay here at Pine Forge. She was able to attend Pine Forge for 4 years, where she graduated with honors with the magnanimous class of 1995. After leaving Pine Forge Academy, Tiffany went on to Oakwood College and soon after married her high school sweetheart, Dr. Orville Brissett. This year, they celebrated their 25th wedding anniversary. They have 3 beautiful children, Julian, Kennedy, and Micah. Kennedy graduated from Pine Forge Academy in 2018. Micah is a sophomore now, and he's due to graduate in 2025. With her heart set on graduating from Oakwood College, now university, Tiffany completed and graduated with her bachelor's degree in 2020 with honors after many years and many challenges with trying to finish. She is currently enrolled at Oakwood University's MBA program, and she works as a medical office specialist for Jefferson Health in King of Prussia. Everybody who knows Tiffany knows that she has a heart and a passion for Pine Forge Academy. She gives of her time. When she's called upon, she shows up. She genuinely loves this place, and she reminds all of us to do the same. Tiffany wants every alum, parent, and supporter to know that to give back, you don't always have to write a big check, even though those big checks are welcomed. But you can also give back with your time, your talent, and your service. It is my honor to introduce the Alumna of the Year, Mrs. Tiffany Smith Brissett, class of 1995. We love you, Tiffany.
I asked Sakoni to save me for last because it's still really surreal to me that I was even chosen for this distinguished honor. Just, I guess, days prior to receiving the call or the text message, Sakoni reached out to me and said, "Tiff, do you have any suggestions for, some of the alumni awards for this year?" Now, granted, I'm no longer an officer, so I thought it strange for him to reach out to me, but we are friends, so I gave him some names. I said, let me look through the membership list in my email and see what I can come up with, and I threw out some names to him. And I'm sitting at work, and I get a text message from Sakoni, "Are you just gonna ignore my email?" And I said, "What email?" And then subsequently, Courtney Katrea Thornton, she texted me and said, "Congratulations, Alumna of the Year." And I'm like, stop playing. And I meant that because over the years, as I've sat on the board, I have seen who gets chosen for these honors. People who have a lot of letters in their last name, or people who come from legacy families, people who, like my co-honorees, have done wonderful and extraordinary things in their careers. And I said to myself, I've done none of those things. I don't have a famous Adventist last name. When I came up here, I welled up with tears as Stacy was reading my bio because it made me reflect on my parents, because I come from a humble background. My dad was a retired Marine, and my mom was a housewife. And when I graduated from my church school, I was gonna go to a community high school for honor students. And I came up here, like my bio said, I came up here for camp meeting for 10 days, and something spoke to me about this place, and I filled out my application. and I turned it into Miss Simon's. And I said, I want to go to this school, but I don't think my parents have the money. So I went home and I begged my parents to please send me to Pine Forge. And when I say they painted houses, they cleaned houses, they did whatever they had to do. I didn't come up here with the flyest clothes. I used to borrow clothes from my friends because my mother sent me up here with a couple of nice church dresses from Sears and a fresh layaway from Kmart. And I'm being real with you. And they did the best they could to make sure that my bill was never late. I never saw my name on that list posted outside the business office door. They made sure, even if it meant taking out a second mortgage on the house, they did that to make sure that I had a Christian education. And I don't think a lot of our people nowadays value Christian education like our parents did when they sent us here. We want to send our kids to the best schools that give them the best setup for whatever high prestigious colleges and universities out there. But Pine Forge prepared all of us, those of us who are alumni, not just physically, not just socially, but most of all spiritually. This place changed the trajectory of my life. I don't know where I would be right now if I had not come to Pine Forge. I certainly would not have met this young man here 30 years ago. So I thank you, Alumni Association, for seeing it fit to honor me, a regular person. I'm just a regular person, y'all. I don't have eloquent speech. I don't have a lot of letters in my last name, but I know what it means to give back. It doesn't take a whole lot, y'all. It really doesn't. It could be simple things, little small things that you can do as alumnus. It's easy to say, I bleed green and white, PFA till I die, green heart emojis on your Instagram post or your Facebook post. It's easy to do that. It's so easy to do that. But you have to search your heart, you have to search your soul, and find out what it is you can do within your scope to give back to this beloved school. It could be something as simple as sending a care package to your old dorm room, to kids who would love seeing a box full of snacks or a box of detergent or health and beauty, whatever, sent to them. You know, that really could cheer up that student's day. I dropped my kid off 3 weeks ago, and it took me 3 hours to clean his room. What if we as an alumni association came up 2 or 3 weeks ahead of the registration week and got together and cleaned these rooms for these kids? Do little odd paint jobs, plant flowers on campus. Those are little things you can do. Nexiconi gave a big charge this morning. These rooms, these dorms need a big overhaul. 3.3 million, is that what you said? You don't have to write a check for 3.3 million. What if you did a fundraiser concert at your church to raise the money? That's not coming out of your pocket, but you're doing what you can to initiate giving back to your school. You don't have to write the check, but a lot of you are connected to a lot of people who have big dollars. Are you doing all you can? Are you really doing all you can? Is it really PFA till I die? Let's use this moment as a call to action. I am putting out a call to action to every single alumnus of this school. Now granted, everybody did not have an ideal experience here. I'm not oblivious to that. But those of us who say it loud and proud, PFA till I die, don't just come up here in your nice outfits and your new hair and your pressed nails. Don't just do that, because the money that you spent on that you could have poured into this school. Okay? So Tiffany is saying I'm a regular person. I'm a regular person, but I try to do extraordinary things, small things, to give back to my school. I send 2 kids here, so I do write checks, or my husband writes checks. We write checks. He writes checks. But there are things we can do. Mentor somebody. Contact the administration building and say, hey, do you have any kids who are interested in my career field? I would like to mentor them. There are little things that you can do. It doesn't have to be big things. But I had to use this opportunity to put a call to action to my alumni. It's easy to say, Pine Forge till I die, green and white heart emojis. You gotta put your money where your mouth is and your action where your mouth is. Okay? So thank you all for honoring me. You got anything to say?
Are those honorees, let's give them another hand. Are they amazing? I was inspired in different ways by each one of the 5 honorees to do more when I get back to work on Tuesday. I'm gonna sleep for probably the next 48 hours. But I am so grateful that we had these honorees, and especially I'm going to speak to Tiffany, because Tiffany has worked with me, and as a alumni president, Tiffany is somebody that I can go to. So the secret between us is that I called her to say, hey, get me some people to sing for this program tonight that she's being honored at. And after, if you know her, she complained. She got me 3 people. So Tiffany is always here for Pine Forge Academy. And I want to personally say I thank her for all that she does for all of us, because it's not only the tangible gifts, and they are extremely important, but it's the intangibles. When you come back here and are experiencing Alumni Weekend that moves you and you have that nostalgic feeling, you go back and say, what can I do to not only make it a better place, but how can I open my checkbook to the Academy? And so I want to thank all the participants all throughout the day. And also we had Career Day on Thursday, which was led by Eric Adams. But I want to thank all the participants throughout the day, from Minister Vanderhorst. Did he not give a good message? All the participants on the program, the officers who worked extremely hard for the last, I don't know, we went up and down what we were going to do. We apologized. We really wanted to put out something, but you know, with COVID, it's been a challenge. This is our first year back. Next year, hopefully it will be much smoother and we can go back to normalcy. But keep your school in prayer, keep your association in prayer. We are trying to do the best for our academy. So with that said, there are 2 very short announcements. One is the business of the association, and we have a business meeting in the morning. It is virtual. Your alumni executive board will be in Allegheny East Conference, but we will send out a link tonight for you all to join virtually. We need to talk about the business of the association. We are trying to, the more efficient our association is, the more we're in a position to help our school. Amen. When the association can lead from behind, we can push our school forward. The school is the leader. We're not trying to lead the school, but what we're trying to do is lead from behind to push our school forward. Then there's one more announcement. So the business meeting in the morning at 9 a.m. And then the second announcement is we have a game night in the gym. And so I think if my Dr. Robinson, I believe, is going over there, and we have a fun game night planned for you led by Dr. Robinson. So you still have some juice in you, go to the gym. Yes. Okay, one second. All right, so I think that's it. Okay, go ahead.
All right, stay right here.
Okay.
I think you all need to know that this weekend was a very hard deal to put together. And it's amazing how the weekend turned out. I think we need to give Mr. Saccone Scott a big round of applause. Because what he did for this weekend was really a miracle, and today was very outstanding. And a lot of times, people up front only hear the negative. So I want him to know that we appreciate all the work he put in, not just him, but his entire team for this alumni weekend. Can we give him a round of applause? I know he wasn't expecting it, but I needed to say it because I understand it.
He's my predecessor.
And the weekend was well done.
Amen. Thank you so much. Dean Thomas. Dean, he was my dean as well. So let's give a round of applause for prior leadership, Dean Thomas. Thank you so much, Dean Thomas. Good night, everyone. Thank you all so much for flying from around the world, especially our MCs tonight. Jennifer Gill Fordham, thank you so much. Stacy Campbell Marshall, thank you so much for giving us a great night, and all our honorees. Have a great night. Oh, and thank you, Allegheny East audiovisual team, for keeping it all together. Thank you so much for your help.